Hey, what's up everybody? Platform Disciple here, and I have a quick little idea I want to share with you guys. But first, I want to bring up that yesterday I talked about the new Rebellion cards, but I did not mention that these cards are still subject to change, which is part of the reason they are not allowed in ranked yet. Right now, there actually were already a couple changes implemented, and from what I've heard from S, there are a few more changes that could come in the near future, but I won't talk about those until they're actually out. But let's talk about the ones that are out already. I wasn't expecting them to get changed so quickly, but here they are. So Once Was Clean has right now plus 10, minus 10 if you overcharge it, which is what it was yesterday. But now it can also be given haste the same way, which completely makes the card a different card, because before it was garbage. You would never ever overcharge it. It was so bad. And now there actually is some reason to overcharge it, because you can sneak in 20 damage out of nowhere. Your opponent might not see it coming. Much more playable card now. I like that change a lot. And then the other thing I want to talk about is Regicide. Costs 2 less now, which is obviously way better than it was before. Yesterday it cost 3, but I think it's reasonable given that you have to play 2 factions that are not typically seen together, and then in addition you have to correctly predict that your opponent is going to play their commander that turn. And to top it off, you're in Varor already, so you had access to Deathray. So Deathray is almost always going to be better in the 3-drop slot, whereas now that it's reduced to 1, there are circumstances where... So actually, I live downstairs. There are people that live upstairs. So that's doorbell's probably not for me. I seriously doubt it anyways. But yeah, it costs less now, so it's actually worth using over Deathray in certain circumstances, whereas before there was almost no circumstance where Deathray was going to be worse. But those are the changes. So let's quickly talk about the other thing I wanted to mention, which is that there is kind of an issue in terms of the overall health of the game with trading cards, and then there being just tons and tons of these extra cards lying around that no one wants to trade for. No one really cares to trade them away. I mean, some people give away cards. And then in addition, people are selling cards. If you go to the trade chat at any given time, there's always going to be at least 1 or 2 people trying to sell their cards for money, which is not necessarily a problem, but I think that's an indicator that there's not enough incentive to trade, because like, just to give you an example, I don't sell my cards. I have no interest in selling my cards. But let's say you wanted to trade for a rare that I have. Let's look for a random rare that I have an extra one of. I could have done Matriarch. I think it's a rare, but let's talk about Spawn. This card's not very good in my opinion. But if someone wanted to trade for a Spawn that I have, there aren't actually that many rares that I don't own. So it's difficult to make a fair trade because I don't want to give away a rare. It's still a rare. Rares are nice. But as you can see, I have almost every rare in the game. I have duplicates of many of them. So it's very difficult for a player to trade for a rare that I have because I don't need anything from them. And I don't want to give them the rare, and it feels weird to just swap a random rare for another random rare. So that's kind of an issue, and that's part of the reason why I think people sell their cards, is because I can't trade a rare for a rare and feel good about it, but I could trade a rare for 50 cents and feel pretty decent about it. But that being said, how do you fix this problem? And one thought is, and I'm thinking that the way to fix the problem is address the surplus cards, because there are so many extra cards. Some of them are trade locks, some of them aren't, but they're not doing anything, they're not going anywhere, and I think getting rid of them would be good. So how do you address this? One is you introduce a crafting system like Hearthstone, where you could exchange extra cards. Like, for example, I could exchange 5 adaptive Hulkers for any other common. Now, this would be very, very big change in terms of trade economy, which is something I think is bad. I don't think this would be something you want. I mean, although you probably are thinking right now, oh, I could finally get the chlor that I don't have. That would be great. Could craft chlor out of a bunch of crappy commons. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. But it changes the value of cards in terms of whether they're tradable or not. Because let's say it costs 100 commons, and that's a totally arbitrary number, by the way. 100 commons to make a chlor. Then chlor has a maximum value and a minimum value, and likewise the commons have a maximum and minimum value based on how much it costs to craft and how much they can be crafted away for in terms of whatever the crafted currency is. And you don't want that in a game where you can trade cards because it affects the market too much. Would make uncraftable cards like the alt arts disproportionately more valuable than others. I don't like that idea at all. But what I do like, and this is a different kind of crafting system that I think would actually raise the value of every card in the game, as well as get rid of extra cards. And both of those are good things. It also would encourage more trading. And this would be to introduce a new premium type. So right now we have golds, foils, and platinums, and infinity borders, but what we don't have is a collector's premium type. And what that would be is, so like I said before, you could craft away 5 adaptive hulkers and get any other common. I don't like that, but what I do like is being able to trade away 5 adaptive hulkers for 1 collector's adaptive hulker. And what that would do is it would allow players who have many, many extras of cards, like myself, to get rid of a lot of these extra cards, which helps revitalize the trade market, but also get rid of extra cards. And it allows me to display that I'm passionate about the game and have collected a lot of these cards. So that's really good. And the way this would work would be, like I said, you have 5 of a particular card, you get rid of them, and then you get the new premium type, which would either be, in my opinion, what would be appropriate is you have like gold borders, right? Platinum borders. Just change that to a red border to show it's collectors, or add a new thing like a collector's stamp, like an Infinity Borders logo, just like around here, that's just hanging out. That would display that it's collectors. And last thing I want to say is that the idea behind having the stamp would be is if you manage to get actually like 5 of a gold card or 5 of a foil card or something like that, or 5 of a platinum card, then you could craft 5 of those together and get like a super pimped out card where it's platinum and has the stamp on it. I'm just seeing if by chance I actually have 5 of any card. 4 is pretty close, but it would allow you to go a step further. You could collect 5 of a gold foil, and it'd be a gold foil with the stamp, and that would be like the epitome of collecting item, because you would show how much you collected of that particular card, and it would be really cool, I think. And last, I wanted to say that if that were the kind of change you wanted, of course, what would have to be part of it would be that if you crafted, like let's say, like I have 5 Denials of Surprise, it would have to be the lowest quality version of all that you crafted together. So in this case, the lowest quality version is this untradable normal one. So if I crafted these 5 together for a collector's version, mine would be an untradable normal collector's version. Whereas if I had 5 normal ones that were not trade locked, the collector's version would be tradable. Or if I had 5 platinum tradable ones, then it would be platinum, tradable, and collectors. So you get the idea. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I think this is a really cool idea. I like it a lot. I would be super, super happy if this was put into the game. But of course, it might be very difficult to implement because the game doesn't currently have a crafting system, so it might be hard to add it. And look at that, I do have 6 premium of one type, so it could happen. I could have a platinum collector's Lance of Jinhai if this was implemented. So I like this change a lot. If they could implement it, it would be awesome. It would get rid of lots of extra cards. It would give players a reason to want commons and uncommons, even though they already have them. Like right now, I have so many extras of commons and uncommons that I don't care about them at all. But if I could trade, like right now I have 9 Rescue Angels. If I could trade for 1 more and be able to make 2 collector's versions, that would be pretty cool. I would like that a lot. And it would give people a reason to trade commons and uncommons with each other. It would be a sinkhole for these extra cards. All right, so I think I've repeated myself enough at this point. If you like this idea, let me know. And until next time, and next time I'm going to be doing a gameplay video, hopefully very soon. Until next time, peace out.